came on YouTube to join this wonderful channel that we have to document my transitions physically, emotionally. And now I'll be documenting this condition that I suffer from called panic attacks. Panic attacks were with me through my whole life since I've been 15 years old. And they have been reoccurring with me day and night for about 2 weeks now. I know about the constant what-if questions that race through my mind, taking me away from my family and my friends. I know that tingly feeling I get at first when a full-blown panic attack comes on. I know how it feels to be constantly trying to ward off a panic attack. I know the devastation it can wreak. I know how terrible it makes me feel. And I know how easy it is to lose hope when panic steps in. But I also know that panic can be overcome. I do. I really do. Right before panic attacks, I was depressed, waiting on something to come along and make me happy, something to change my life for the better. It took forever for that something to actually materialize. I used to constantly walk around in this low-level funk, not that anyone even knew. My social mask was of a happy-go-lucky girl who had the world on a string. Really, I was a guy all along, with no string. And the people I worked with never saw me in a bad mood, and I never really confided in them about my feelings, or told them about my depression. My other friends, they didn't really know either, or my family. I felt at fault for so many things. Felt that I wasn't good enough. I felt left out a lot of the time. I felt as though the world was just ignoring me. I hid my rage against the world and for myself. Mostly because my life wasn't going where I wanted it to go. And I blamed and still blame myself, and sometimes the rest of the world for it too. I also thought that nothing in my life was good enough. I have a very all-or-nothing attitude. I want the best in life, but I don't like to wait for them. Not that I wasn't willing to work for them. I was willing to sacrifice and have sacrificed everything to achieve what I have achieved so far, the goals that I have achieved. I just didn't want to wait. I wanted them right now. I wanted to be liked and to be loved. But I was afraid to reach out to people unless they could see the real me. I was what everyone wanted me to be. I was a helper. I let people take advantage of me just so they'd like me. I was afraid to stand up for myself because I didn't want to offend anyone. I let others walk all over me, in the meanwhile, wanting to run so far away and not have to deal with any of it ever again. I was in constant battle with myself. That's what I was. And that's how I feel I still am. Every little success I gained didn't make much of a dent in my depression. Because each time I'd achieve something, I'd wonder why it never really made me feel better about myself. I'd seem to turn any success into a failure without even realizing what I was doing. I wasn't happy with myself. I didn't like, let alone love myself at all. What I was doing, I wasn't happy with myself. My feelings were bordering on self-hate. I merely existed for the one day I'd succeed. I believed that as long as I kept up this facade while hating myself on the inside, it kept me moving, you see? But it didn't keep me moving. It kept me stuck. Panic was always with me. There were times when I didn't even feel real, or the occasional what-if questions all over again, and the worst-case scenario. I was able to sidestep panic for years now, especially since my transition started, and finally feeling successful and happy. It was so much easier. But lately I haven't been that lucky. It's been one hell of a crazy year, and I guess my body and brain had had enough. For no reason I could understand. I felt like a complete nobody, and if I could reach my goals, then I would turn into this other person I was sure I was deep inside. That person was happier, and quite truthfully, a better person than me. All it would take was success, and then, bam, a newer, better me, right? Each time I'd achieve something, I'd wonder why it didn't make me feel better about myself. I would downgrade it and say that it wasn't a real success, and it wasn't exactly what I wanted. Before I could stop it or define, my world closed in on me. I couldn't breathe. My mind was racing with these crazy thoughts, and I could not calm down, no matter what. I felt like I was going crazy, like I was having a stroke, a heart attack. I thought I was gonna die. This all happened at work, and I got rushed to the ER. Nothing calmed me down. I honestly felt like I was on the verge of a nervous breakdown. I finally couldn't take it anymore. I thought I could just sidestep this again and it would resume my life. Yeah, right. I now begin to notice how odd things look, and I really begin to feel nervous for no reason. Nothing seems to be real. I shrug it off, though it continues to happen. These panic attacks, they continue all day, on and off. And I'm not talking, little surges of fight or flight. I'm talking full-on, mind-spinning, nauseating, heart-pounding attacks. All day I fight with them, wondering if I'm going crazy, and becoming sick at the thought of this. Obsessive thoughts keep me from confronting my fears because it paints fear with a different brush. I can't think about what really frightens me. So I guess I come up with other things that aren't based in reality. These things are terrifying, but they're nothing more than diversions to confronting what really scares me. They make me believe I'll lose control. And after the obsessive thought comes, there comes the panic. It's like this vicious cycle. And what I realized was that I'm afraid of losing control. If I lose control, who knows what I would do. It's part paranoia and part self-punishment. You begin to believe in what panic tells you, and it tells you to run and to hide. It also tells you that nothing can ever take it away, and that's because it perpetuates itself. The more you give in, the stronger it becomes, and the smaller your world gets. I was afraid of not being liked, and of not being perfect, and of not reaching my goals, and of being a failure. And that little fear chased me like a hellhound for years, and I didn't even know, up until 2 weeks ago. And it's made my life absolutely miserable when I should be the happiest right now. I realized I hadn't been living for me. I'd been living for my fears and for other people. I let other people's opinions mold me into this scared little creature. I used to worry about being perfect. I still do. I'm anal retentive, and it all blew up in my face when I was forced to face up to my inadequacies. I guess I was a control freak, and I didn't even know it. And that's why I decided to reorganize my life. I have to reorganize my life and get some of this stress out. If I hadn't gotten these panic attack, I might have had a full-fledged nervous breakdown. I guess it showed me how silly things really are. It showed me my endless worries about the future and about success, and about how it's not really all that important. It showed me how to live in the moment, because when you're having a panic attack, you can't help but actually live in the moment. I guess I have to look at panic as being a gift in a way. And I guess without panic, I would never have realized this. And that's why I say it was a gift, I guess. Now all I can really do is hope that I can get throughout the day without a panic attack. I'm gonna make today that day. Today's the day to take my life back and kick panic to the curb. I'm ready. I think I am. No, I'm ready. I'm ready to get over this. I'm ready to forget about them. In fact, I can't wait until I can forget about them. I'm ready for my life to begin again. And that's what I truly want. So I'm ready. I'm ready to put all of this into motion.
Walking away, it's not the same as running. Is it to you now that you've run this in the ground? And you say, take this medicine is just what you deserve. Swallow, choke, and die. And this bitter